Wow, wait.
That's a looker.
Blondie, big lips, chesty. What? Is that your girl?
No, that's your daughter.
Hello and welcome to the Bargain Binge podcast.
I am the clown prince of comedy, Dylan, and with me, as always, is...
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm a proud supporter of Sandman. No, not Enter Sandman. No, not the Spider-Man villain. You know who I'm talking about.
Well, it's a good song, and Thomas Hayden Church delivered a good performance, so I don't think you're on the right side of history here. But also we have...
Aaron, and I'm a sexy woman who desperately wants Adam Sandler's big or small schlong, depending on the joke at the time.
Depending on the movie, because Click would lead you to believe that it's the size of, it's microscopic.
Yeah, well, 50 First Dates says that it's like the largest penis on Earth, even compared to animals such as the walrus.
Well, we are the Bargain Binge podcast, the last bastion of physical media, and your wallet. We randomly select a disc from a bargain bin every other week and review the whole disc, not just the movie, the bonus features, everything involved. And this week, we are going off the deep end. This is something we pushed off to the 10th episode because it's quite an arduous task, but here is me pulling it.
Hey, this is not an arduous task. This is a 10th episode spectacular for the audience. We weren't dreading this. It was for them, the viewers.
Come on, guys. Woo!
Yeah, everyone clap. Yeah. Clap at home.
Yes, like all podcasts, we must do a premature celebratory episode of a very minor accomplishment, such as 10 episodes. But here is the clip of me pulling this movies from the bin.
This is a test for the Bargain Binge podcast. I'm at the $5 bin in the Walmart in an undisclosed southwestern location. And my first pick is 4 Laugh Out Loud comedy collection with Adam Sandler.
That's right. It's the Laugh Out Loud 4-movie collection of Adam Sandler films, including 50 First States, Click, Big Daddy, and Mr. Deeds. This is actually, I believe, the first DVD case I pulled out of the bin at Walmart when this was just a fledgling little sparkle in our eyes.
Wow.
It truly is a historical event for the ages.
10 episodes of binges, 19 episodes deep. That's right, Bargain Binge boys. We're tied. We're tied for episodes.
Yeah, what you gonna do about that? Nothing, that's what I thought.
So, fellas, what was your reaction when I pulled this magnificent collection from the bin?
I was like, how the fuck are we going to talk about 4 movies on our podcast?
We're still asking that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, as we speak right now. Yeah, I questioned the, I don't know. It's quite an arduous task.
Well, when you're looking in the bargain bin, the multi-packs, I mean, that's immediately, you assume that's going to be the biggest bargain, because just looking at dollar for dollar each movie, you know, that's more bang for your buck. And this was $5, so this was $1.25 a pop.
Yeah, and, you know, if we didn't at least attempt to do, like, 3 or 4 movie packs, I think we would be doing a disservice, because we would not be accurately representing the fodder that's in a bargain bin, because there's so many of these.
Yeah, bargain bins are 50% multi-packs, usually of a actor or director or somebody's worst films shoved together for a unsuspecting family to suffer through.
And for our audience out there, if you hear any children screaming or acts of violence playing out in the background of the audio, we apologize. We're recording this on a most momentous Memorial Day. Shout out to Pat Tillman. And we spent our day thanking the troops by watching Adam Sandler movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what better way we could we could pay tribute.
Yeah, I always grab a copy of Kangaroo Jack and put it over my heart and sing the national anthem.
Ah, yes. One of the few true Memorial Day movies.
So grab a veteran near you and play them this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll love it.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do here is we will briefly talk about each movie in this pack and then just kind of go into a discussion where we talk about the package as a whole, how the movies interconnect, the Sandler-verse at large, if you will.
The Sandler-verse is much more extensive than I thought it was.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Well, the first movie we have in this pack, first on the case and first when you pop in the first disc, is 51st States, starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, from 2004. The back of the box reads, a Hawaiian island playboy has to use his imagination to win over the girl of his dreams when he discovers she has no short-term memory. Every night, he is erased from her memory, so he has to make her fall in love with him all over again the next day, ellipsis. And the next, ellipsis. And the next! Exclamation point. So, have you guys seen this movie before?
Yeah, I've never seen this. So first time viewing.
Yeah, I had. I saw this on like television at some point, I think with my mom, and I mean like when I was like 9. So very little remembered. I for some reason remembered the last like 5 minutes super vividly, but otherwise I forgot that he works at a weird fucking aquarium or whatever it is, and a lot of the B plot stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's either a zoo or an aquarium. Who knows?
I was pretty horrified by the concept of Drew Barrymore's character.
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit disturbing.
She lost her short-term memory.
So she can't remember anything?
No. She has all of her long-term memory. That's a different part of the brain. Her whole life, up to the night before the accident, she remembers. She just can't retain any new information. It's like her slate gets wiped clean every night while she sleeps.
So her family has to like painstakingly recreate like they had to print fake newspapers and whatnot to keep her in this keep up the illusion that it's the actual day after when it's been like a year or something.
Yeah, but did they have to? Did they really have to? Is that the first thing that you would come up with?
Well, yeah, that's what we learned throughout the movie, is that Adam Sandler tries different things to try to spice it up and make her existence a little more, or a little less fake and horrifying.
Well, to be fair, it's implied that she had several times woken up, freaked the fuck out, gone to the doctor, cried, went to sleep. And I think they were trying to give her more of an existence than that, but they do it in like a really disturbing and weird way.
The trying to replicate the next day thing, you see her brother and her father doing this constantly, and like there are multiple events throughout the day that they have to recreate. It's her father's birthday, and they pick out like pineapples for his birthday, so they always have to have a pineapple, so they have a freezer full of pineapples. She for some reason has decided that day she's going to paint a mural, so they repaint the wall white every single day.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane what they the lengths they go to, but I guess it's just they think they have to.
Yeah, this stuff consumes like 70% of their day every day.
Every single day.
It does.
She thinks that it's always the Sunday of her accident because her brother and father have they bought out like all of the stock of the Sunday newspaper from that day, and they just give it to her every single morning.
There's a scene in which she's walking out of like the restaurant she always goes to for breakfast, and Adam Sandler's like following her. There's a cop who's giving her a ticket because he's like, well, your plates are expired.
The tags don't expire for 7 months.
They expired May of this year.
No. They expire May of next year.
And then she like goes and runs and grabs a real newspaper, and it's like, wait, what? And it's like, I mean, I guess like Aaron said, it's implied that that's happened before, but I don't know. Like I feel like that would happen a lot.
Well, it's been like years and years, and it's just confusing how they're able to keep up the charade with everyone on board. No one ever seems to step in or anything, because the world is constantly changing around her, and you hear her multiple times have to like relearn that her friends got married or had a kid, and it's like so they just disappeared from her life, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, well, and Adam Sandler also makes a comment like,
What's gonna happen down the line? Someday she's gonna wake up and look in the mirror and notice her face has aged 10 years overnight.
so it's like, God, it's so scary.
Basically, the premise is Adam Sandler meets Drew Barrymore at a diner that he regularly frequents, and she's sitting there, and they hit it off, and they have a good first meeting, and then he's excited to see her again the next day. But then he comes to find that all of this is happening in her life.
Okay, pervert, I think that you should leave.
What? I'm just joking around because of what we talked about yesterday.
Yesterday? I've never even met you.
And the struggle becomes, how can I maintain a relationship with a woman who can't maintain a memory? And you feel like this is, like a shitty romantic comedy thing, so, she's probably going to get her memory back at the end, but she doesn't. It comes to the point where they get married and have a child, and she's still waking up in the morning.
That was like the most, like that ending, I was just like, it was the most horrifying part.
Yeah, her kid runs up to her and she is like, "Oh yeah, you." It's so off-putting.
No one even says the name of the child.
No, Adam Sandler's just like, meet your daughter, and she has to do that every morning, and it's like, what the fuck? But I also thought like 100% she was gonna like regain her memory, or at least like some of it,
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen.
No, there's no sign of improvement.
Well, can you imagine what that pregnancy was like? Just waking up every day, like looking down, like,
Well, yeah, and she even says that.
How is that going to work? I'm gonna wake up every morning with an enormous pregnant belly and no memory of how it happened.
Adam Sandler basically makes her a video, right? And like films all the things that they've been doing, and it's almost like an introduction into the new world every day she wakes up.
Aloha, I'm Henry Roth. We met here at the Pukilau Cafe about a year after your accident.
That's the solution that he offers to the problem of maintaining the charade that it's always that specific Sunday.
How long is that video now? Like,
oh yeah, that's a good question. Jesus Christ,
does she have to sit there for 3 hours every morning so she can be awake for the next 8?
She has to watch the Snyder Cut every morning.
Yeah, but this is the first installment in the Adam Sandler takes the opportunity to use a film production as a vacation, because this takes place in the paradise, as it's portrayed in this movie, of Hawaii.
I definitely got those vibes as soon as we were introduced to the location.
And the weird, vaguely tropical covers of all the fucking classic rock songs Adam Sandler likes.
I'll stop the world and melt with you.
The needle drops in these movies are weird, because this one specifically had real songs that aren't covers, but then that was like 50% of the soundtrack, and then the other 50% was like weird islandy, like Hawaiian-esque covers of songs.
Yeah, but I think that'll figure more into our overall discussion of the ties between these. But do we have any more thoughts on 50 First Dates?
Okay, this one's striking because it's super weird rom-com premise. I think it bounces against its like fart comedy in like a really weird way.
All I know about walruses is that out of all mammals, they have the second largest penis. I have the first.
It's very melodramatic. Like the circumstances make sense for it to be, but that's bouncing against like 50 people flipping each other off jokes and like pooping, and Rob Schneider just doing whatever weird fucking thing he thought to do on set that minute.
A walrus projectile vomiting on someone
for like a full minute. And
like the weird masculine co-worker he has who he constantly harasses and calls a man.
That
was messed up. That was weird.
And
shut up because here comes one time only opportunity. What I will do now is go into your office and become naked. Next move is up to you.
I don't know if you realize I'm not into guys.
This will come back up in the larger discussion, but I think specifically with this one, I just couldn't really get I couldn't grasp his character, really. I don't really get what he's like. He does, like, because he's like a player or whatever. That's the early setup, is that people come to Hawaii, and he takes them out to, like, do the same shit every time that, like, wows them. Then he bangs them. Then he pretends to be a secret agent or on the run from the police or something to get them to go the fuck away. And then they, go home, and then he does it to the next girl. And Drew Barrymore actually lives in Hawaii, so, like, it's, like, breaking his rule. But that, like, is barely emphasized. Like, it's emphasized very heavily at the start. But the fact that he's
then never again.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like a player. Like, it feels like that element doesn't tie into his, like, weird dork who works at aquarium element. He's
very ill-defined character.
Yeah, he's, like, inexplicable as, like, a person.
Yeah, because he just looks like Adam Sandler, and everyone remarks that he has an egg-shaped head, and, he's not the most appealing person, but you see, like, a handful of women that, like, he rocked their world and everything, and it's just the beginning.
Right. Yeah, no, this feels like something that got, like, rewritten and redrafted out of itself. Like, at some point, it was supposed to be a big element that he's giving up his old lifestyle. But then by the time I hit this version, it just, like, doesn't mean shit. He casually goes, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore, whatever.
Right. Yeah, and, like, despite, honestly, like, when it first started off, when I, like, started to grasp the gravity of, like, Drew Barrymore's situation in this movie, I was very, like, horrified and off-put. But the movie is, like, sentimental and kind enough that it kind of reeled me back into thinking it was, like, cute. But then again, at the ending, it's like, oh, wait, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this movie.
Yeah, it has this genuine element to it, but yeah, it's weird because you can't escape, if it's an Adam Sandler, Happy Madison production and whatever, you can't escape all the tropes that we'll get into later. So it's kind of a weird mixed bag.
Yeah. My favorite weird gag being that guy on the island old guy who just hates him and shits on him and tweets him like garbage every second they hear each other. Yeah. For some reason, that just got me every time.
He says something in an Asian language to the camera, and after he says it, he says, which means, what a piece of shit. He says that out loud to no one.
Yeah.
Which means, look at those two shitheads.
You see, guys, and audience, I have survived on this earth for going on 23 years now. I've never seen The Sixth Sense before, and I was never spoiled on the twist of The Sixth Sense before. And you know what this movie did? It said the twist of the movie. It just said it.
Well, that's another gag, is they watch The Sixth Sense every single day.
Yeah,
and have to pretend to be, like, surprised by the twist.
Yeah,
it was funny because like, yeah, that's the joke, and it's like when she said it, it, like, took me a minute to process. Like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. God damn it. So that's just great.
Evan managed to be the only person unspoiled by it, and then this Adam Sandler pack took it away from him before he actually.
Yeah, you have a beautiful mind, Evan. I have no idea how you.
I don't know either. But now it's gone. Thank you, Adam Sandler.
Speaking of gone, so is our talk on 50 First Dates. Mm-hmm. So now we move on to the next movie it's not in order on the case itself, but if you pop in the disc, the first disc is 50 First Dates and Big Daddy. So on the back of the box, we have 32-year-old Sonny Koufax. Adam Sandler has spent his whole life avoiding responsibility, but when his girlfriend dumps him for an older man, he's got to find a way to prove he's already grown up. In a desperate last-ditch effort, Sonny adopts a 5-year-old Julian. Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse to impress her. She's not impressed, and he can't return the kid. Uh-oh for Sonny. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Whoever wrote the copy for that, come on.
I guess I did zero research into these before watching them, so Aaron and I, while watching it, were both like, wait, where have we seen that kid before? And then at the very end, we looked into it and found out it was both the Sprouse brothers, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
I guess they just couldn't get one of them for, like, they had to split up the time they were on set, and since they look the same, it didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty common trick in movies because due to child labor, like weird restrictions, and it's very hard to feature a kid a lot in a movie. So children are very commonly played by twins. Like, I think that's where Mary-Kate and Ashley and all them started. But yeah, it's just a common thing that people do. And I was actually happy to learn it was them, because usually when you look it up, it's like, oh, they died of a meth overdose when they were 16. So I was glad
they went on to do things. It's like, yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, they're like, seem like functional living people. So good for them.
Yes, long before they were in the Tipton Hotel in Boston, they were chilling with Adam Sandler in his man-child apartment that he shares with Jon Stewart in New York.
Dude, seeing Jon Stewart that young was wild.
Those were the days.
I forgot how skinny he was. Oh, he's still skinny now. I know if his build feels different. It's interesting.
He could never find a suit that fit him ever. He looks like David Byrne in this movie in Stop Making Sense with his oversized suit.
Yeah, we just didn't expect him to pop up like that. It was weird. And he's not even really in the movie. He's a pretty minor character, actually.
No. So, yeah, the back of the box is pretty accurate, but Adam Sandler's hot girlfriend leaves him, or you see it just bra 2 minutes into the movie, and then he's
very
like...
classy.
Jon Stewart is a businessman or something. It's his roommate. He has to go to China, and while he's getting on the plane, someone shows up to Adam Sandler's door with a child and informs them that it's Jon Stewart's son, a long-lost son. And Adam Sandler finds the opportunity to prove to his ex-girlfriend that he is an adult by adopting a child.
Hilarious antics ensue.
Mostly pissing.
So many pissing jokes.
95% that Calvin bumper stickers, pissing on sports teams.
Yeah, it starts with they try to go into a fancy restaurant to pee because little kids have to pee a lot, and it's something he has to, learn about, I guess. The maitre d' tells him no.
Hey, buddy, can my kid use the bathroom for a minute?
Customers only.
And then they piss on the entrance of the building as everyone is eating 5 feet away from them. And then it just becomes a running gag where they're constantly just pissing on any building that will present itself to them.
I mean, while it's still gross, I can kind of forgive pissing on just a wall. But, don't piss on a door to, a restaurant. Like, come on.
Well, yeah,
someone's got to walk to him.
Well, that's true, but someone who's not that guy has to walk through that door.
Yeah.
It's the delivery door, so all the DoorDash people stepping through the piss that's just puddling on the stoop.
Yeah, the guy who's snooty towards him ain't gonna be the one cleaning that up. So it's
kind of a dick move.
But this character element is introduced because the first night the kid sleeps at Adam Sandler's house, he pisses the bed. He just makes a giant fucking disgusting piss stain. And then Adam Sandler covers it with newspaper and then puts the kid back on it.
There you go, all right.
I do like that running gag of if there's a mess of any kind, Adam Sandler's solution is to grab a bunch of newspaper and just put it on there and forget about it.
Yeah. It comes to a pretty good head when the kid's school teacher is like, oh, he spilled glue all over the floor and just threw a newspaper on it and walked away.
It was a multimedia piece, lady. Get over it.
Yeah, he's a true artist.
This one's probably the grossest of all 4 movies, I would say.
Yeah, when you think of Adam Sandler movies, you normally think like gross out humor and everything, but this pack is pretty tame on that element. This is a weird point in Adam Sandler's career because it's like you have 2 late 90s movies and then you have 2 early 2000s movies, which is just a strange period to look at his career.
Well, cause Sandler's weird. Like, you kind of see the transition here, though, because of the way the discs are formatted. You go back and forth in time, but because he's he gets famous post SNL through The Waterboy and Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. That's the holy trinity of breakout Adam Sandler shit from the 90s. But those are just dumb ass fucking movies. Most of the emotional heart element of them feels super ironic. But this is, you see, like, this stuff through the 2000s, and then is when he starts putting in more, like, emotional heart element. And that's where these become more melodramatic, leading up to Click, which is, like, the most that, while still having really gross cum jokes.
Yeah, and it's weird in Big Daddy because I think the whole problem with this movie is the pacing, because it tries to do all the sentimental stuff and to varying degrees of success, but like the build up to him losing the Sprouse brothers and then getting them back, like the whole like third act is just a fucking mess because he loses them. And then all of a sudden they're having a court case to see if he has, if he can get back custody of the kid.
Yeah, the most inaccurate and poorly thought out court case in media.
Pretty much. Like, all the stuff that happens would not fly, like, whatsoever in a court. And the judge just kind of lets it slip by.
I think Mr. Koufax should be acquitted of all the charges. If OJ can get away with murder, why can't Sonny have his kid?
It's not even just that, like, the format's all fucked up. Prosecution, like, never actually says anything. Adam Sandler does everything.
Oh, yeah, they don't say anything, huh?
Yeah, they never has the prosecutor go up and talk, like, nothing. There's no actual court case.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then it ends with the judge saying that they're gonna put Adam Sandler in prison, but then Jon Stewart's like, "No, it's my kid. I'm not pressing charges," and then it just ends.
Yeah, and then the kid goes with Jon Stewart, and Adam Sandler's like, "You can, I can be your uncle or whatever." Another note is, I think this is probably the one with the, at least from what I could tell, the least budget, or at least it like felt like it had the least budget. Some of the sets and stuff are like dude, when they're in his apartment and it's supposed to look like New York City, like the night lights of New York City on the balcony, it looks like the Frasier set. Like, it looks like shit.
No, it does have like an aura of like cheapness to it. But the thing is, the interesting part is that it still has like vague technical craft, because like 10 years later, his movies don't even have like film elements. It's like, oh, flat SNL shot. That's it.
Yeah. But then it's shot by Dean Cudney.
Yeah. And then it's shot by like an award-winning, top-quality fucking cinematographer.
Well, this one opens with like a Scorsese-ish, something I feel like I'd seen like a mob movie, where it's just like these disconnected shots with voiceover. It's very artsy. It's so weird.
Yeah, and the long fades and stuff. Yeah, no, it had like a really interesting, like vaguely edgy and artsy tone that it it continues for a little bit with that, and then it just falls out of the movie for more like puke jokes.
So now we will move on to the next movie in this pack, which is moving on to disc 2. We have Click, the infamous meme movie Click from 2006. Very short tagline on the back. I mean, a description. When a harried workaholic is given a universal remote that allows him to pause, rewind, or skip past portions of his life, he discovers which parts are truly the best.
A hairy workaholic?
Harried.
Oh. Okay.
He's not that hairy.
No.
But yeah, this is the ultimate wish fulfillment premise, where what if you had a remote where you could control everything?
What if I had a remote that could pause time?
What if?
Yeah,
what if my fucking sexy wife was bitching at me again, and I could just make her shut the fuck up?
What if I could fast forward a month in time where I didn't have to do all this garbage architecture work so I could get my promotion, and then miss my children's important moments in their lives?
So Adam Sandler is an architect grinding through the system. He's trying to become a partner at his firm and work his way up the ranks. And he's just tired of life. He has so many things he has to do. He has to get to his kids' swim meets, but he also has to do work. And he just is tired of delineating what he's going to do every day. And he's having a spat with his very hot wife, played by Kate Beckinsale, which is another trope of Adam Sandler movies I guess we can talk about later. But after they have a spat, he goes to Bed Bath & Beyond to get a universal remote because his television system is annoying him. And I have to ask, who goes to Bed Bath & Beyond to get a remote?
Well, Dylan, all the other stores were closed, so that was his last option. Staples
when is
was
Bed
closed.
Bath & Beyond open last?
I don't know. I mean, that I don't know, but they did establish...
Beyond is open past Best Buy or Staples.
They did establish that he was driving and he was like, whoa.
Open. Bed Bath & Beyond it is.
And that's part of the weird charm is oh, they don't have TV remotes, but they actually do because there's a crazy inventor in there who's made a magical TV remote.
You wanted a universal remote control. That remote controls your universe.
Well, yes, he goes into Bed Bath & Beyond and he walks past all the sections. He's like, bed, bath, oh, beyond. And it's this magical door that leads to a workshop with... Yeah, it's product placement blatantly, but it's cute.
Yeah,
I like that well enough.
Yeah, it's the most commercial thing possible, but
But they all have that. They literally, every single one. We'll get to it later. Yeah.
Yeah, but Christopher Walken is a kook guy who's working in a workshop back there who produces for him a magical universal remote, which then he finds through accident that you can control your surroundings with it. He realizes he can get past all of the terrible parts of life by hitting fast forward, and he doesn't have to see his dumb parents who make him cringe.
Oh, he's such a big boy, isn't he, on his big cell phone? Big
He doesn't have to do all the hard work at his architecture firm that, for some reason, only makes him a meager wage.
Even though he's about to make partner.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm sure that in a big firm there's guys in the basement or whatever who aren't making real money. I'm sure that's true. But he's one step from being a partner who makes, $1 million fucking dollars. So I don't get how he can't afford a new bike for his kid.
Yeah, he comes home with two bicycles for his two children that he has with his damn sexy wife, and he thinks he's going to make partners, so he's like, okay, I'm going to spend this even though I don't have the money. And it's like, dude, bikes don't cost that much. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not going to kill you to get your children bicycles.
Those two children's bicycles probably cost a total of $100 to $200. Probably less than that, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, despite our making fun of the general premise, I think I like this one the most. I always liked it as a kid. It's the premise, while comedically it's what if, bro, is still fun because there's a weird almost sci-fi element and or magical element to it that makes it interesting.
Oh,
yeah, it's like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. It's also really funny because this in the film he starts skipping through whole years of his fucking life and missing massive parts of his children growing up and all that. But he ends up landing, at least for a while, in 2022, and it's a sci-fi future. And it just feels really funny to see that depicted like that, where everyone has I don't know, it looks like 2070. It looks like Star Trek half the time.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask Henry Winkler to survive past this year, lest we have ironic screen caps of this movie of his character's tombstone from 2021.
Yeah, yes.
Jesus Christ.
I also thought about that, but also I thought about the fact
he looks the same.
That
he looks the same as he does as he did in this movie now.
Yes.
Let's get to Barry season 4, dude.
Yeah, but like I was just saying, Henry Winkler has not aged a fucking day since this movie came out, and it's hilarious that in the depiction of 2021, he looks like he's 1,000 fucking years old.
He looks like he's about to like just turn into a cloud of dust, and his bones just crumple to the floor like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, he's like Guy Pearce and Prometheus type facial prosthetics.
So this movie's fun because it's an effects movie because of the reality of the premise. So there's a bunch of weird freeze frames, and Adam Sandler's interacting with like these frozen people, and he goes into like a menu screen that's like a weird void universe. It's visually interesting, which I think stands out in the Adam Sandler catalog.
Yeah.
And they all sort of have, or at least a lot of them, especially from this era, have like, grander messages to them. But I think this one just resonates the most because it's just like, spend time with your family. Don't let like life pass you by and not do that. And like, I'm not gonna lie, it got me emotional when I was a kid. It still kind of does. It's sad at the end when he's like realized he's fucking wasted his life away, fast forwarding through everything and missing all these important moments. And it still connects with me on that in that way.
Yeah, because at a certain point, like, he's fast forwarding all these things, and then the magical remote is like, oh, you want to fast forward this type of moment every time?
The remote goes by your behavior. Every time you had a conflict between work and home, work won.
So then it just becomes out of his control, and things just start wildly skipping past. So whenever he has like a big task to do at work, it'll skip that period of time, and then it becomes like 10 years. So
yeah,
it just
keeps tacking on time, and then he's like, it stops at like he's an elderly man, and he's kind of been a shithead, and he's like super regretful, and it's just like, it's sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's sad.
And outside of getting fat in one scene, he only ages by having like slight grain on his temples.
That's true.
Oh
yeah, no. Despite all the weird Sandler verse comedy and stuff that's still in there, it still really does like make you go fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this is the least funny movie, but
Probably.
that doesn't mean it's the least I'd say it's the most entertaining.
Yeah. No, the jokes in it are mostly kind of bad. Like I don't know, it's mostly just like cum jokes.
No, it's not my fault. It jumped on its own. I didn't even hit the button.
Not even close.
Sandler yelling.
I kicked your father's ass in high school, and now I'm gonna kick yours!
And a weird joke about David Hasselhoff sexually harassing people.
No, Linda. I think Stacy gets the most beautiful feet award.
I do like David Hasselhoff in this.
Yeah, I like him too with this. You don't really see him in just normal roles, like where he plays boss, but he did a pretty fun job in this. I think everybody does a decent job. Also, the most important thing that he misses is not his children or any of that. It's that when he was trying to skip foreplay with his wife, he accidentally fast-forwarded through sex. So every time he tries to have sex, it gets skipped over. And that's the real issue.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's the worst reality you could possibly end up in.
Yeah, he keeps trying to fuck Kate Beckinsale, and she's willing, and then he gets skipped to the end. Like, that's the darkest shit that's ever been in a movie.
Can you imagine just hating foreplay so much that you skip through it and you're with 2006 Kate Beckinsale?
Dude, him and his dad's, like,
insane
hatred of foreplay is like psychotic to me. I don't get it. Like, it makes it seem like only women like to, do stuff to each other, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh yeah, every time they have sex, it's Kate Beckinsale laying next to him and complaining about how long it took, and by how long I mean how short.
Yeah.
Okay, quietly try and coax me into it.
I gotta get back to work. Can't we just do it?
No, we can't just do it. Honey, come on.
I mean, I don't have any new moves for you. It's the same stuff. Just think of last time and use that.
The only entity in this movie that reached sexual pleasure is the dog when he humped the duck.
Yeah, that's another running gag, is the dog. Whenever they have a dog, it always fucks a stuffed duck that they have in the house.
I gotta sew the duck's head back on for Sundance and fix his butthole.
Way to go, champ.
Yeah, the jokes aren't that funny, but it's more about the actual, like, story and, like, the melodrama elements, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
And Christopher Walken giving performance, like, line deliveries where you can tell that he, like, forgot the line during it and then they kept it in the movie anyway.
Yeah. Dude, there's some deliveries that he, like, emphasizes the wrong words and stuff, and it's like, it's so funny.
Something stinks, like stale French fries.
I mean, I like his character in this. It's fun.
This is also amongst the least sleepy that Adam Sandler looks. Like, he seems like he looks sleepy a lot of the time in it, but he seems to be putting more, like, emotional effort into the more dramatic stuff than he normally does.
Oh, I thought you meant that in the way that he, like, dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Because in this one, he's like a working office type where, like, he wears business casual stuff.
That's true.
As opposed to, like, a sweatshirt. Like a, you know...
Evan, which is the one where he wears the fucking middle schooler hoodie?
Oh, that's Big Daddy.
Okay. Yeah, he wears this, like, blue hoodie that on the inside has blue camo, and I knew, like, 8 kids who wore that in 5th grade. I'm glad that that's how Adam Sandler dresses in movies.
Yeah, but he couldn't even be fucked to wear a tie in his architecture firm in this movie.
That's true.
That's true. While he's more fancy, he's not, like, that fancy.
While Adam Sandler could only last 2 minutes sexually in this film, we at this point were 4.5 hours into our quadruple feature. So that brings us to the next movie, the final movie of this laugh out loud 4-movie collection, and that is Mr. Deeds, starring Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder. The back of the box will tell us, in one sentence, funny man Adam Sandler stars in Mr. Deeds, the hilarious remake of the classic American comedy Mr. Deeds Goes to Town.
Huh, okay. I didn't put that together.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but yeah, that's basically says funny man do the funny thing. But yeah, this is a movie that I feel like no one has heard of or knows about or has opinions about.
Yeah, it's definitely lower on the list of Sandler films. It's something that I feel like I constantly see playing on cable, but it's like not one people discuss.
Because it's not part of his, like, super weird and jank early work or his, like, ultra cringe late work or something people kind of just like Click. It just kind of disappears between everything, I think.
Adam Sandler plays Longfellow Deeds.
Just call me Deeds, pal. Easy with that Longfellow stuff.
Who lives in a small town in New England, and he suddenly finds out that he is the sole heir to a $40 billion fortune, and his long-removed uncle is the head of a massive media conglomerate that runs hundreds of radio and television stations all over the world. And he is called into New York to sign all the final paperwork so he can get the money, because it's all in shares. Along the way, there is a tabloid news reporter, played by Winona Ryder, who's trying to dig up any dirt that they can find on him. But along the way, they fall in love. But how will they deal with that? Maybe a liar revealed trope? I don't know.
Who can say for sure?
The liar reveal, which, as most of you know, I hate. God, I despise this part in movies where you know the hero's just gonna be taken back, but because they found out the person was a liar, they have to throw him out and act like he's not part of the group.
I would love if the back of the box said maybe a liar reveal trope. I don't know. And trailed off.
It's pretty fucking close. It's one sentence.
Yeah, that's... I don't know why the description is so short.
This one has some gags I quite like, but it also kind of felt the longest because it has no story.
Yeah, no, there was an interesting mix of elements there where I enjoyed quite a lot of the weird slapstick humor. Like, and to be fair, there's slapstick humor in most Adam Sandler movies, but this one doubled down on it, and a lot of it was just legitimately funny. But yeah, also it has a story that doesn't warrant the runtime of the movie.
Yeah, you expect there to be like a twist in the like mechanics of it at some point, like someone will try to be bad or like something will change around, but it doesn't happen. The entire runtime is just she's pretending to be somebody else. He doesn't know that and is a perfect, flawless man, and that's it. There's no dynamic to it. It's just the bad guy who's trying to fuck the company over and steal money or whatever is he's established as being a shithead the first time you see him, so there's no dynamic to any of it. But yeah, the gags are fun.
Yeah, the premise is revealed in the first 10 minutes, and the rest is just kind of coasting along on that. And really the only sort of arc that happens is Winona Ryder feels bad that she's making these completely cooked up stories about him for this awful tabloid.
Has Longfellow Deeds been locked up? Of course not. While the rest of us obey the law, rich playboys like himself get to laugh at it.
And then he finds out, and a liar revealed, they break up, and then they get back together at the end. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Almost immediately. There's 2 scenes in between those events.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention, this one really, really pushes Adam Sandler's character as being good at everything, and is just a super cool guy who all the ladies want. And everyone likes him.
Yes, but he does have that thing where he's a weird dork who writes Hallmark greeting cards and people make fun of him for it.
Mom, you are the one who brought me to planet Earth. You are the one who suffered through my 14-hour birth. You are the one who made lemonade for me after I'd come back from play. I love you, Mom, so have a wicked nice Mother's Day. Something like that.
An instant classic!
Genius, genius, genius!
Do you write your poems with a crayon, Deeds?
It's amazing!
Yeah, but then he instantly gets to beat them all up with no consequences.
That's true. He kicks all those guys' asses, and it's actually pretty funny.
And if it wasn't for Miss Dawson being here, I'd probably knock your heads in.
I don't mind.
Okay.
This one's weird to me, though, because usually with an Adam Sandler movie, he is a dickhead and presented somewhat as a dickhead. Yes. But yeah, he's just a Mary Sue in this movie because he lives in the small town and he's helping old men across the street. He works in the volunteer fire department and saves people from burning buildings single-handedly.
He's an all-around model citizen. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. His character's very strange in this because on one hand he's gingerly gentle, helping elderly people across the street, and then the next minute he's roundhouse kicking people and stuff. It's I don't know.
I do really like how Winona Ryder does. She sets up this thing where her and one of the people from the tabloid news station people fake a mugging. So that he can save her, and then that's how she's gonna get in with him. But then Adam Sandler just brutally kicks that guy's ass for 2 minutes. And I just really enjoyed him just punching him forever on the ground. And while Winona Ryder winces and hopes he'll stop soon. It's a pretty fun gag. I like all the one of my preferred stupid recurrent elements of Adam Sandler movies is they all have these stupid hockey fights. And
that's true.
It's always a good time.
Enjoy when people just get beaten senseless to a comedic degree.
I do want to note that that scene that you're talking about where he beats the guy to the ground, that actor actually got concussed in that scene because he was legitimately thrown to the ground and was knocked out for a minute.
Oh, well, yeah, he picks up Adam Sandler picks up a trash can and hits him with it. So I wonder if he just did that for real.
No, he hit his head on the concrete. And then also we have an injury in a scene that's insane that it even happened because Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder are riding bikes around Central Park, and then they take them down the stairs, and apparently while they were filming, Winona Ryder fell off the bike and, to a degree, broke her arm.
Oh my god. I was thinking about that when they were riding down those steps. I was like, that looks dangerous.
Yeah. I had the same thought. I was like, that's horrific. Like, I felt like anxiety watching them do it.
Well, in the version that's in the movie, like, they're completely blacked out and you can't see the actors' faces, which means it was retaken with stunt actors, which makes you wonder why they didn't just do that to begin with and why they trusted Winona Ryder and Adam Sandler to ride downstairs on bicycles.
Yeah, steep, like, multiple flights of, like, concrete stairs in a park or whatever.
I've walked up those steps. They're steep. I don't want to ride a fucking bike.
Yeah, that's the steps where John Wick just got incommunicadoed and he's running around at the end of John Wick 2.
I thought I recognized them from something. I'm sure they're in plenty of other movies.
Oh yeah, it's Central Park, buddy.
Yeah, they're in every movie.
John Turturro's in this. Very enjoyable performance from him as the Spanish butler who has a foot fetish.
I like feet. I do not know why.
And teleportation powers.
Yeah, he's very sneaky.
Jeez, Crow, how'd you get down here so fast?
Sneaky, sir.
Yeah, I've just loved how surreal and weird John Turturro's character was. He just fucking teleports, like, constantly throughout the movie. The earlier Adam Sandler films have a lot of, like, just what the fuck stuff that feels like it was made up, like, as the movie was being filmed. Like, wouldn't it be funny if he was already there type shit? And I quite like it.
Yeah, borderline surrealist. And that's... I mean, honestly, each and one of these movies had something of that nature, but I think Mr. Deeds was the best example of that.
Yeah.
I think the trope of Sandler movies that stands out in this one, because it's completely absent from the other ones, oddly, is the celebrity cameo where the celebrity inexplicably has supernatural powers.
Yes.
Because he hangs out with...
McEnroe, the tennis player?
McEnroe. Yeah, and they're, for no reason, they're egging cars in the middle of New York, which, like, doesn't make sense for Adam Sandler's good guy character to be doing, period. But then, like, a car nearly runs them over, and McEnroe jumps, like, 10 feet into the air.
What kind of driving is that? You're a f***ing disgrace!
I just about, like, did a spit take when I saw that.
It was amazing. And we also have Reverend Al Sharpton making an appearance at the uncle's funeral.
I loved the Al Sharpton shit where he's sitting in the crowd and they clearly set the camera up on the tripod and said, just say a bunch of things. Just react. They'd be like, and it's just, Al Sharpton just says shit while Adam Sandler's talking, always in the same shot. Where he's like,
it's so clearly what you just said because he's saying it in the most like flat like way possible that like it leads you to believe he doesn't even know what he's supposed to be reacting to.
He's good.
Audience, if you have not seen the photo of Reverend Al Sharpton taking a gym selfie where you can see his weird old man body in the reflection of the mirror behind him, I highly encourage you to look that up. And maybe I'll put that in the episode description. It's really a gem. But this one, I feel like...
I just looked it up. Sorry. I've never seen that before.
I'm looking
Isn't that amazing?
That's hilarious.
Oh, shit.
So the other thing about this movie is I feel like this also has huge pacing problems in the vein of Big Daddy.
Yeah,
we kind of like mentioned that with like the premise just kind of falling on its face after like 20 minutes, but like the end, he gives all of his money to a charity, like $40 billion, and it's like, where do they even go from here? Like, there's no way to bring this back, and there isn't. But then all of a sudden, the shareholders of the company are having the meeting to discuss selling, and then he walks in and like in a grand gesture, like a courtroom scene, he's like, we shouldn't do this, blah blah blah, and then Winona Ryder reveals that John Turturro is actually the sole heir.
He gets all the money, and then they fire the bad guy who's trying to sell the company, which would result in like 50,000 people losing their jobs or whatever.
Yeah,
that ending is just so unearned and out of nowhere and weird.
Yeah, he's like apparently planning to like basically chop shop the company and just dump it, like sell it in chunks, and everyone and pretty much everybody loses their jobs and new people get put in, and some of the stuff just dies.
Like Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Disney. You see, well, okay, Adam Sandler's great uncle or whatever is basically just Ted Turner in this. He's a multi-billionaire who actually, gives a fuck to some degree, and he owns a giant mega media conglomerate. He owns sports teams, but he actually goes around and does shit. And I can't think of anyone else that it's like aping. Like, it feels a lot like, Ted Turner's shit. And I enjoy that element of it. It's interesting because they John Turturro, they vaguely set up as like, oh, I used to talk to your great uncle every day, and we were close friends. And that's the setup for him being his dad at the end. But it's like, it's so thin, and it fits into the story so weirdly, and it's just like, oh yeah, because Adam Sandler just loses. Like, his speech doesn't matter. Like, no aspect of what he did mattered. And, like, in fact, the entire movie didn't matter. The only thing positive that came out of anything that happened is that Winona Ryder looked into this, which somebody would have done no matter what, and found out that he had a child. So
but he fell in love with Winona Ryder, and now they live happily ever after. And you can't put like a price on love, so you're wrong, Aaron. Shut the fuck up.
Especially not with Winona Ryder.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like Winona Ryder plenty, but then she hit a crisp drop kick, and she became a fucking 11 out of 10.
Yeah. You have the hockey fights, as we mentioned, but there's just a straight-up pro wrestling brawl in a pizza restaurant between her and the lady from 2.5 Men.
I'm gonna cut you into 8 slices of bitcheroni!
It was a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
Because they both got some crazy hits in.
Dude, when that lady starts manhandling her, like, she deadlifts her, like with just like her fingers lightly around her, and then chucks her, and it's like, holy shit. And and Winona Ryder hits a crisp, like, Dave Meltzer 5-star fucking drop kick. And it's a pretty good scene that means nothing and is out of nowhere, like most of the scenes. But
was it awkward to watch the rest of the movie in a room with someone with a massive erection, Evan?
Yeah, like I kind of had to avert my eyes. It was.
I like what I like.
Well, on that note, we'll move past our specific criticisms of the movie, and we'll just talk about the overarching themes of the Sandler verse, because it is a universe, because in Click, the next door neighbors with the annoying son, they are O'Doyles, as there are the characters in Billy Madison.
Kevin O'Doyle, yeah, always a pleasure.
And also Rob Schneider plays the same character, a weird, quirky foreign guy who delivers food between Big Daddy
Want some chocolate cake?
and Mr. Deeds.
Yes.
Holy shit, it's a cat!
Yes. And I believe that's the same exact character who was in that Wrong Missy movie with David Spade.
You watched that?
No, I didn't watch that. I watched other reviews of it, and I think I saw the trailer, and I'm pretty positive that's the same character. Because he has the same eye thing, he has one bad eye that is discolored.
Well, the bad eye guy's at 50 First Dates, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but Rob Schneider's an important.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Okay, so the character that Rob Schneider plays in 50 First Dates also appears in The Young Missy. Wrong Missy.
Yeah. Yes. I was confusing that character with the delivery guy that you just mentioned. Yeah, who's in Big Daddy.
See, Evan, I don't get how you could make that mistake. Rob Schneider plays such diverse and interesting characters.
Yeah,
there's Mexican guy, there's European guy, there's Asian guy,
I want to apologize. That was really out of place. I'm sorry, Rob Schneider. You're a great actor. We love you here.
Well, so I want to touch on the tropes that appear throughout these movies, and we touched on this earlier, but first one, needle drops.
Yes.
Anything that is owned by the Sony Music Group, who Sony has produced all of these movies, any of their songs have any they could pop up at any moment in any of these movies, no matter what.
Sometimes they will play one, and then it will abruptly start another one with no in between. Just song into song. And it's all...
that's like an hour of Click.
Yeah.
Like a full hour of that movie is just like someone set up a playlist on a jukebox and everyone's pissed at them.
Yeah,
that person is Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler. It seems like Adam Sandler's a big fan of pop punk. There's Weezer songs. There's No Doubt. He seems to like the Cars a lot.
The Cranberries get featured.
Songs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Cranberries. Yeah. So it's a very distinct taste of music, which honestly I don't mind. Yes, they're obnoxious, but at least the songs are good for the most part.
Yeah, it's way better than Zack Snyder's penchant for adding shitty covers of classic pop songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain if Island in the Sun starts playing or whatever,
Yeah.
It's whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, he just floods it with songs that your Gen X dad likes, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Or me.
Or Evan.
Yeah.
And
I love the Cars. I love Weezer. I love No Doubt.
Well, yeah, and also with the great characters of Asian guy and Mexican guy. All the movies have constant reoccurring cast members besides not just Rob Schneider, many of which who I didn't even know were reoccurring in his movies because they're people who I don't recognize. Such as the guy who plays Samwise Gamgee in The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Sean Astin is the brother of Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates.
A friend of mine's been experimenting a little with steroids, and he's been having a lot of wet dreams.
As well as the guy that Kate Beckinsale gets with after his relationship is absolved in Click.
Yeah.
Well, Don and I were going to get a cup of hot chocolate.
It's just interesting because this plays into Adam Sandler's thing, which he became way more notorious for and later, which is... just shove guys I know, usually SNL cast members, randomly into my movies, and then pay them $1 million because I'm an accredited producer on all of them, and they get to make such decisions.
And his kids and his wife. It's just a rotating cast of Adam Sandler's friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually shocked not to see David Spade in any of this.
Yeah, he was in none of them.
Yeah.
But Rob Schneider sure was.
Rob Schneider got those fucking paychecks. This actually had it was diverse in a certain way with Rob Schneider in that sometimes he's in the movie for 1 minute and other times he's the main supporting character.
I was happy when he was in it for 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer
You don't
that.
love Flat Earther? Rob Schneider?
Oh, I knew the first one. I didn't know the second one.
That's just an assumption. Don't take me to court on that one, Rob. I'm sorry. I very much love The Rob Show or whatever the fuck sitcom you had on Netflix. Yeah, so beyond the like recurring cast members, the Adam Sandler character is basically a mono character, the hero in the hero's journey. It's just a stock sort of figure who's always good at everything, kind of a dick, and then sometimes he must face his actions. He always plays pretty much the same exact guy, and that is played up in like Punch Drunk Love, which is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. But yeah, he's just a guy who's kind of a dick and gets violently angry over very little, very often.
Yeah.
It yells a lot.
It's just interesting because, yeah, especially in super early stuff, the character is supposed to be, like, fucked up and weird, like the water boy. Like, in that one, it's like you're supposed to think that they're, like, a fucking moron, degenerate, non-functional person. But also to a lesser degree with the next couple. But Mr. Deeds especially depicts it like it's a good thing. And he's not as bad in that one, but he's still like constantly fucking picks fights and is like violent and weird. And that one like really just pushes it as like Mary Sue character. Adam Sandler just wants to show up in the clothes he like, basketball shorts, a t-shirt, a hoodie. He wants to make out with a hot woman, and he wants to give all of his friends $1 million paychecks.
Yeah.
And he
play golf,
and he doesn't really want to have to act really.
Right, but he can.
Yeah, he really can.
He's a good actor, as evidenced by things like Punch Drunk Love or Uncut Gems or whatever. Like he's a weird figure.
Yeah, I guess we could just talk about Adam Sandler as a figure because he's maligned by pretty much all critics ever.
Beelzebub's foreskin himself, Adam Sandler.
As a result of that is kind of a punching bag amongst people that think they're above general audiences.
Oh, that's right. This is a Happy Madison audience, where something that they see come out of them every day is suddenly hilarious because it reminds them of something that was scandalous when they were 2 years old. Watch.
I don't really understand why everyone hates him so much. I guess, is it the character that he always plays? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be, or it's just like the immature nature of a lot of the humor, where most of it's just like, slapstick or bodily function jokes.
No. You got more.
And like, again, some movies are much worse offenders of that than others, but I don't know. Like, to be fair, like I haven't seen that many Adam Sandler movies. So to watch all 4 of these in a row, which I'll re-clarify in case we didn't say this already, we watched all of these in a row without taking breaks, just to let the audience know.
Yep.
But to do that really kind of opened my eyes to this whole, like, to his shtick, what he does in his movies. And I don't understand all the hate that he gets. I think a lot of these are just decent movies that have pretty good messages that make you laugh sometimes.
I think the problem is that his bad movies are so similar to his good movies that it's easy to write them all off.
That's true.
Yeah, he is like an auteur as an actor and producer in a way where everything carries over.
Yeah, like because if you watch a couple of his like early 2010s like 0 out of 10 dog shit movies, like the one where he has a twin, they're not that different from these. It's just the filmmaking qualities like lower and lazier, and like the
story's lower. It's just like
but it's not that different. They have like the same loose premises.
They have the same aura,
and same cast, and like so it's like if you watch a couple of the dog shit ones, it's easy to just be like, oh yep, this is an Adam Sandler movie. They're like this.
Yeah, they all suck, but which isn't true.
Yeah, no, he's in plenty of fun movies.
No, I really like Billy Madison, Waterboy, and
Happy Gilmore.
What's the third one? Yeah, I like those movies.
Me too.
I mean, I watched them as a kid, but I mean, I feel like those are evergreen. Those are classics. Very quotable films.
Yeah, well, because those have the most like surreal, what the fuck, like ultra loose like vibes. Like, and weirdest cameos, like Big Show calling him a fucking idiot or whatever on television.
I guarantee that guy's still a virgin.
They're just strange. I think the movies became gradually more, like, traditionally structured in their storytelling, and then also became overall, not every single one, but overall worse in their filmmaking. Because by the time you hit Jack and Jill and stuff, it's like flat SNL in front of a green screen. It doesn't have to be sometimes shit, and it's just like, ugh. And because like these movies have like shots, they're not like super amazingly filmed, but like they feel like movies.
Yeah, and do they cost way more than they should actually be to make? Yeah, but you know, it feels like you're watching a movie. It's not assaulting your eyes with, you know, things that would make you believe it was.
It's not Paul Mall Cop 2. It's not that.
No.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, he's in good movies sometimes, why doesn't he do them? Well, you have to take into consideration doing low-budget, artsy films with Paul Thomas Anderson and the Safdie brothers. That's difficult. And he doesn't have to do that because he's Adam Sandler. He can do these movies, get paid millions of dollars to do them, and do next to nothing.
Yeah, wouldn't you, viewer, if you had the opportunity to take $20 million to hang out with your friends and go to an island and then basically steal money from the studio if you could?
Yeah, like you can make fun of that all you want, but don't pretend like you wouldn't actually do that if you were given that option.
Yeah, like
come on. It is what it is. He doesn't have to accept those other roles, like those more dramatic, like quote unquote, like serious film roles that he does, because I don't think he would have to act in a single other thing for the rest of his life if he didn't want to.
Well, yeah, and like despite the fact that he has this availability, like his batting average isn't that bad. Like all of these were released like fine. Like he has tons of pretty decent movies. He's still like, you know, Hubie Halloween stuff. Like he still puts out like occasionally, you know, okay, decent stuff. He doesn't like go out of his way to make fucking dog shit. And people act like he does.
I think the issue is that some of the dog shit are such like stinkers that people, you know, like your Jack and Jills or your Ridiculous Sixes, that people go like, oh no, but
oh yeah,
I don't know. You have to look at his filmography as like a whole.
Well, he's got a better batting average than like those Melissa McCarthy husband movies.
Well, yeah, you mean because all of those are fucking bad?
Yeah, and that's like the exact same kind of thing where it's like, I'm making this movie and my husband's directing and I'm getting paid a shitload of money. I'm an SNL alum. It's very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still, he generally still does better movies than fucking
Ben Falcone, Melissa McCarthy, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, Ben Falcone or whatever.
Yeah, no one cares what his name is.
I'm just gonna say I think I would rather watch Murder Mystery than Thunder Force or whatever.
yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't want to watch Thunder Force under any circumstances. And as you might know, viewer, we watch dog shit on purpose all the time, and I still don't think I'm ever gonna lay my eyes on that fucking thing.
No, that is not the type of trash anyone wants to watch. Yeah, I'd much rather watch Jack and Jill even. I would much rather watch Jack and Jill because it's weird and surreal and just kind of like, what is this? And has a how did this get made quality rather than Life of the Party, which is just excruciating and just gross.
Yeah, he could be doing worse, is all I'll say. But
yeah, so in the end, I think we can say Adam Sandler? Good?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
On average, good.
Kind of lazy, but, you know, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, there's no reason not to be. But we can now talk about the actual package, the $5 little DVD pack that we have here on the 4 movies on the 2 discs. As with many big studio multi-packs, these don't really have menus. It's just like a stock image from the Adobe DVD software with the names of the movies. You can pick them. They don't even have like a menu where you turn on subtitles. It just says subtitles available, and you have to hit the subtitle button on your remote. So not great presentation on this.
No. Also, there's no bonus content, as is always the case.
Not even a single trailer.
Yeah.
This is bare bones. Like, it just gets you right into the menu, which I'll point out looks awful.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the image is. But then it's like the thing is, there's 4 whole movies, and except for with the exception of Big Daddy, the transfers all looked pretty good.
Yeah, Big Daddy's weird because it has like black bars.
Yeah, it had a weird aspect ratio thing where like the
bottom had like a thick bar, and then the top had a thin bar, and then it was slightly pillar boxed. It was just like offset.
It was completely boxed in.
Yeah, but I mean, again, and that's not even, the quality was fine. Like, I think all of them were pretty like, it's like, yep, that's what it's a DVD. Yep. Like, there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, if you're buying DVDs in the year of our Lord 2021, you can't really be
you won't
too
get
picky.
Much better.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So that being said, I guess we can determine if this is a bargain, and I think it's sounding good so far, because this is $5 for movies, $1.25 a piece, and just on sheer volume, that's pretty good. I know there's not bonus features or trailers, but I think we could probably just agree that this is might be our first bargain.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
it's 6 hours a fucking movie, or 6.5.
Yeah. It's the math. It's like, yeah, you get so much content, 4 movies for like a little over $1 per movie. That's pretty crazy. That's like a good value. And yeah, while it doesn't have the bonus features, it's like you're getting a lot. It's a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, and like the rips aren't disgusting or anything. So like there's no like big like, oh no, you don't want to look at this.
Well, and I'd have to wonder what bonus features of these movies even would be like. Like, how much can you honestly learn about Adam Sandler fucking around with his friends?
Yeah, they probably would be uninteresting if they existed.
I'm gonna go grab my DVD copy of Click just to check.
Okay. So while he's gone, let's take over the podcast. Okay, so we're not doing any more briefs. It's just binges, but we're not going to actually go to a bargain bin anymore. I'm going to pull up Netflix, and we're
just going to watch whatever's there.
Oh shit, he's back. Yeah,
and the branding is not going to change whatsoever. Much like the Bargain Bin Bros, we will just review any movie regardless of, you know, whether it fits a theme or makes any sense.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares?
We'll have like very defined branding, but just watch garbage that people might have mentioned on Netflix. That's it. It's fine.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we gotta get up our reviews of all the classic things that everyone on the internet that has a platform has reviewed, like The Room.
Oh yeah, can't get wait for
Birdemic.
our The Room review. We will have such unique things to say about that no one has heard before.
So, all right, I have the special features here for Click on DVD, and surprisingly, there's a good amount. You got deleted scenes, fine cooking, additional fat suit footage, Make Me Old and Fat featurette, behind the scenes of makeup effects. So a lot of emphasis on fat, and there's more there, but, you know, those are boilerplate, and if you're paying $5 and doing just a little bit more than $1 per each movie, that no bonus feature is not a problem.
It doesn't matter. The sheer amount of content you're getting is more than the value. Like, which is just absolutely shocking. It's wild. it took us 10 episodes to find something that was actually a bargain.
Yes.
Honestly, not that many. We could have done worse.
Important element that I have to get out. There was noticeable anti-Barney humor in these. There was.
Oh yeah.
It was a reoccurring element. There, more than one movie mentioned him and had Adam Sandler shit on him in some way.
Yeah, there was
Big Daddy.
Yeah. After you get out, we'll go to Barney's.
Barney?
Not that Barney. A different Barney. A more expensive Barney.
And was it
Click.
Mr.
Yeah.
Oh
Click.
yeah.
Oh, there's Barney.
I love you, you love me. That jogger had giant boobies.
He does like a little song thing where he makes like a joke about Barney, like, and that's the most traditional form of anti-Barney humor is musical anti-Barney humor. I'm glad that it's in all media.
Yes, if you haven't listened to our episode on Barney's Great Adventure with the very talented Wyatt Duncan, please check that out.
Yes, it's a banger of an episode. You will not regret it.
Here's the part where we talk about the recommendation, whether we recommend the movie on the disc or not, and there's 4 of these, so I guess we can just go around and say which ones we recommend if we do, because I don't think we're all going to walk away with no recommendations, but you can prove me wrong. But Evan, what do you have to say?
So, I have seen Click before, and I liked it, so there's not really a surprise there. I would, like, if you like Adam Sandler movies, that's one of the better ones, I would think. So yeah, I would recommend Click. Big Daddy might be the only one I don't really recommend, just because it's like, I don't know, it was a little too gross for my liking.
Okay,
those are my takes.
All right, so Aaron, what do you have to say?
Yes, I also watched Click when I was 9 or whatever, and thought it was a fun movie, and it's still a fun movie, a little unevenly structured, but it's like it has some decent like emotional, but the premise works. It's kind of unfunny in an interesting way, but it's entertaining from start to finish in some like jank way. And I like that it has sci-fi elements for scenes that take place in like 2012. So that's all a fun experience. I could recommend that. And then the other ones are all like a mixed bag. 51st Dates I come close to liking in like a genuine way. It's just the humor really, really bumps against the content. It's just awkward, and it kind of, I don't know, I feel like that one never came together like tonally. I mean, it gets better in the back half with that, but so like if you're looking for it, maybe, but I can't give that like a strong recommendation. Mr. Deeds basically doesn't have a story. It has like the thinnest pretense, but I actually laughed consistently. It's pretty fun. Like, I think there's a bunch of memorable gags in that. So like I could give that like a soft recommend, which is unlike Big Daddy, which I give a soft not recommendation, because none of the gags in that are really memorable. So there's just nothing really to that one. It's not a terrible movie, but and yeah, so they 2 soft recommends and 2 like but overall a pretty good reputation for this pack, considering most multi-packs are filled with the guys and actors' worst films.
I will just straight up recommend Click. It's just too much of an oddity not to. It's really just an interesting movie for all the reasons we've said. And I think I'll echo a soft recommend on 51st Dates and Mr. Deeds and no to Big Daddy. So yeah, it's pretty consistent throughout all of us. But I would also like to give a supplemental recommendation to Punch Drunk Love, which I've brought up already. But that's one of my favorite movies, and it plays well off of proper Adam Sandler movies, where he's not being directed by like a highly regarded director. You'll understand what I mean if you watch it, but it's one of my all-time favorites. I don't generally like romance movies, but yeah, so Click, watch that. Punch Drunk Love, watch that immediately. And I guess that means we have our first consensus recommendation and Click, fellas.
Yeah.
It took 10 episodes, but we found a bargain and a recommendation.
Yeah, I'm glad that we can give our highest honor that has not been given out before to fucking Adam Sandler.
I honestly didn't have like crazy high hopes going into this, but I guess our bar for this is so low that the four like mediocre to good Adam Sandler movies just absolutely blew everything else out of the water.
Yeah, no. Also, yeah, just watch Click. Look at how fucking weird those effects are. You do have to see that.
Yeah, no, and like try not to tear up at the end.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe go check out the Hotel Transylvania movies or something if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I gotta watch Punch Drunk Love. That looks awesome. But yeah, and also if you're just like an Adam Sandler fan who hasn't seen him in like his other atypical roles for him, then also go watch Uncut Gems because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's one of the best movies ever. It's so good. It's just unbelievable. And Adam Sandler plays the shit out of Howie. He's such a great character, and Adam Sandler pulls it off with such grace that it's kind of like unbelievable that it's in his filmography.
He never resurfaced anything.
I heard you resurface your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel?
Never
You think your life is more important than my life?
I don't know who said that.
There's so many good quotes.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
If you want, watch all of these or none of them, but always watch Uncut Gems and quote it, yell quotes about it obnoxiously on your podcast about movies. I know you have one.
Especially with F-bombs. You go out in public and say shit like, "I'm about to close the biggest fucking deal of my life.
I'm gonna come."
So, that brings us to a close of the most ambitious and positive episode of the Bargain Binge podcast we've done yet.
Yeah.
If you want to find us on all your favorite podcatchers, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, etc., you can find that all at bargainbingepod.com. And leave us a nice review on whatever podcatcher, but especially Apple Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Bargain Binge Podcast. I upload clips of shows a week after they air, so you can relive all of your favorite moments, unless I didn't clip them. And in that case, I don't care. Shut up. If you want to get a hold of us, send us some questions. Anything. A JPEG of Al Sharpton. A JPEG of Adam Sandler holding a gun on the cover of Click that says gun instead of Click. You can send that to bargainbingepod@gmail.com. Hey guy in Brussels. I know you're there. I know you're listening. Talk to us. Why are you listening to us? You're the only consistent fan we have. What's going on over there in Belgium?
Dude, we recognize you, we appreciate you, and we just want to know that you're doing well.
Yeah, send an email in whatever language you write in to that email, and we'll respond to it in some way. I promise.
Yeah. Flemish is no obstacle for us when we're talking to our gracious fans. And then you can follow us on Twitter at BargainBingePod, where you can see me tweet the episodes way later than I should, and sometimes yell at YouTube for trying to take down our videos. But other than that, I think that wraps up this episode. Good one, guys. Good one.
Yeah. Good time.
You're welcome, audience.
But until next time, I've been Dylan.
I've been Aaron.
I've been Evan. And this is how we win.
Like, no, I can't even be buried with you.
What if you had a remote?
Bro, wouldn't that be fucking crazy?